Welcome to the third special edition of the NNBC channel for a new breakthrough topic, ethics and company. As everybody knows, ethics concerns have been becoming very important within our society. These are revealed by some worries about ecology or respect of human well-being, for instance. As a matter of fact, there are two main characters that focus on this issue. First, companies seen as power society actors, which have an enormous power thanks to their activities followed by governments, in particularly non-governmental organizations. And secondly, the civil society that wonders increasingly if companies respect their values, how the human resources policy is implemented, and if the company follows a sustainable policy. All these questions are allowed by the communication dramatically opened by the globalization phenomena. So people speak, spread the word, and seek answers behind action judged as immoral. Remind you the case of Nike in 1997 and the lawsuit of Enron Company in 2008. Numerous questions are raised about ethics, but no answers. So, how can we imagine the business ethics? In a business surrounding, do you agree that company faces two main opposite objectives? Reach high profit or moral pursuit? And do you think that both are incompatible? Ethics is subjective and depends on situation, person, and habit. Otherwise, it is difficult to imagine that an ethic development plan in a company is enforced for another objective that is reaching the higher profit possible. So that the company to respond to the society willingness should try to do both, reach profit and have ethical behavior. And in this special edition, we will focus on showing that the ethics in company has been real or pragmatic. Company face to pressure and should include other objectives than financial ones. Then, we will point out the gap between the public expectation and ethical behavior and the real action conducted by companies.
We are going to watch now a reconstitution of an ethical or unethical behavior case. It's a real one. You can vote immediately on your cell phone at the number written on the screen to give us your opinion.
Yeah. Can you ask Mr. A to come to my office, please? Yes, thank you. Have you asked to see me? Yes, indeed. Come on, take a seat. So, as you know, BA is our principal competitor actually in the market, and they are launching a new line of clothes. So, but this time I want to be better than them. Do you understand? Okay. I'm ready to do anything to achieve my goal. First, I'm willing to violate the privacy of BA by accessing personal data into the file without their permission, of course. I'm motivated to see both tangible resources and intangible information from BA. This is why I'm asking you to introduce yourself to their office. In order to gain the advantage, I will lie during the next appointment, and I want you to engage in acts of sabotage in the workplace. When you will be at the competitor's office, spread hurtful rumors. Do you understand me? Yeah. Are you sure? I'm sure.
79% of you agree that it is an unethical behavior. Indeed, this case illustrates a particular kind of behavior, unethical behavior, and our expert, Sana, will give us some quick explanations.
Given that the unethical acts committed by Machiavellism can include a wide range of behaviors, for example, stealing, lying, and cheating, it seems logical that Machiavellism has a multidimensional effect on well-being, affecting not only the targets of our victims of the behaviors, but also work teams and the organization in a much more general sense. We interviewed the employee who resigned a short time after his boss' requirement.
I felt anxious, even when I went to my home at any moment of the day, the night with nightmares. I also exhibited symptoms of paranoia and distrust of others. It was horrible. It had an impact at work with my work.
As we saw, here the research of profit is incompatible with the business ethic. Nevertheless, it is not always the case. We can imagine some patterns such as the win-to-win one. Increasingly, we have observed the development of the socially responsible investment for which the company does not focus only on its profits.
Indeed, the business ethics has been developing in a context in which people are becoming aware of the wealth conservation. This is called the responsibility principle, pointed out by Jonas Hans in 1979. The company must face to the same issue that the society if it wants to remain alive.
Some example maybe?
Yeah, it is a good idea.
The sustainable finance represents 2% of the asset management but note a high growth. The emergence of trade fair or organic products and supermarkets should be taken into account. The company and the authority hold it together to ensure the well-being of the society. In 2000, multinational companies developed the Global Compact that include the human rights, the sustainable development, and the fight against the corruption to respond to the society concerns.
Of ethics within the company, create discussion and ensure the adhesion of all the parties at the end of the discussion. Be sure there is a dominant voice to ensure the progress of the agreement. Now we are going to listen the point of view of the CEO of GDF Suez, Gérard Mestrallet.
A company cannot be defined only by its professions, its turnovers, or its geographical locations. It is initially teams, values, and a vision.
Take into account the fact that ethics can take different forms and variety of commitment levels. So Sana, can you give us more explanations?
Yes, of course. Ethics code social charts are appearing and growing in most companies. Most of the big companies got an ethics process with official documents and tests. Even small firms are developing some ethics codes. Ethics is represented by several levels of commitment in the firms. One of these levels concerns authentic text codes of conduct, charts, principles, and rules. The ethical responsibility is directly linked to the highest leaders of the firm. We have for you tangible testimonies of big firms' employees. About Danone case, Mark, can you tell us more about the Green Man Danone Foods?
Yes, so thanks to the commitment of Frank Ribou, CEO of Danone, the company succeeded in the implementation of a partnership with the Grameen Bank of Mohamed Yunus, a microcredit organization in Bangladesh. Altogether, they founded the Grameen Danone Funds Foundation. The aim is to create and develop a yogurt factory to enhance the local development. For Danone employees, seeing your boss involved in this kind of issue, we are more likely to be motivated and follow this example.
Okay, thank you. We are now going to discuss another case and another example. So thank you very much. We have a case with Renault, Human Resource Director in Switzerland. Kay Forster, hello.
Indeed.
Can you explain us your situation, please?
Yes, of course. So here at Renault, we have a chart of ethics that establishes the different standards which form the core of Renault's values. This chart is filmed by every people working at Renault.
Yes.
Some of its core values are, for example, the respect of personal rights
Okay.
of the people employed, of the employees, and also of the other individuals. The judgment of people for their qualities and the lack of discrimination. and the security and the protection of every employee. In order to audit the company's ethics, the company organizes each freelance study about its employees. The employees need to fill out a survey of 80 questions and about their motivation and their feelings at work. These results are very different by the countries where it comes from. So, for example, employees spend 2 terms in Germany is very rude, whereas in France it is very normal.
Okay, thank you for both of you for your...
Thank you very much for your help, everyone. So, according to the previous testimonies, we thought that leaders' commitment had a positive impact on the employee satisfaction in their work. Our reporter will give you some insights about job satisfaction, interviewing Sarah Fetny, the product manager of McDonald's in France.
Hello Pauline, hello everybody. I'm here with the brand managers at McDonald's, Sarah Fetny. Hello Sarah. Hello. We are here in order to discuss about your satisfaction at work. So I'm gonna ask you a few questions. First about your feelings. How do you feel every morning when you wake up for work?
I feel really good because I like my job at McDonald's. I really love going there and finding my people, and even if it's a bit far away from where I live, it's a pleasure going there every morning.
Okay, so you feel motivated and... Yes?
Sorry. Yes, I feel really motivated. I like my job. I love doing what I do and meeting my colleagues, and everyone is smiling and with a very good spirit, and it gives me kind of emotional contagion. So it's a pleasure.
Okay, and do you get the impression that this satisfaction has an impact on your work, on your productivity?
Yes, of course. I feel really motivated working, and as I like what I do and the people I work with, I really want to do a good job, and my manager to be proud of what I do and what I create.
And so it helps you with your creativity.
Yes,
also?
Of course, it's a very important point. As I work in advertising too, I need to be creative, and this very positive spirit really helps me in that way.
Okay. Now we are gonna talk about the attitude between the employees. What do you think about the vouvoiement in teamwork?
We don't practice it at McDonald's at all. We say tu to everyone. It's part of our company culture. I think it's really because McDonald's is an American firm, so I say tu to the intern, and I say tu to the president of the company. And the vouvoiement is not really a good thing because it puts a kind of distance between people, which doesn't really help working together.
Okay. And the last one is how could you describe the relations between women and men in your company?
There's no difference between relations between women and men. It's really the same. It's a pleasure being a man and a woman at McDonald's.
Okay, thank you very much for your answers, Sarah.
As everybody understood, the first and initial goal of a company is profit. But it is high time taking into account the fact that companies need to evolve within a rules framework and enforce actions of regulation. These actions should be the way and leverage to improve the well-being of the society. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for listening. We are looking forward to seeing you next month for the special edition of NNNBC channel. Bye-bye.